Hi, my name is Claudia Lopez, and for my Cool Tool Duel, I decided to review abcmouse.com. abcmouse.com is created by Age of Learning Incorporated, which is located right here nearby in Glendale, California. The online curriculum is geared towards ages 2 to 7, but for reasons that I will point out here shortly, I believe it can be used well into the middle grades of elementary school. I'm going to give you a quick tour of what the website has to offer. Now, this is a parent's account. So, right down here, it says parents. For teachers, it would say teachers. And when you go in here, teachers will have, a lot of users under them, whereas I only have my daughter and a guest account and my own account. These are useful because when you click on each student, you can uh, differentiate um, their learning and their academic levels. So my daughter is just moved into level 6, and here we go. You could go anywhere from toddler time all the way to level 6, which is where my daughter's at. And if a child is, um, struggling and to keep up, you could probably put him, or her on a, lower level, whereas you can put children that are progressing very well on a level that is higher to keep challenging them. Another great tool is that you can actually differentiate instruction according to subject. So if my daughter was doing very well in language arts but struggling in math, I could make that so when she's in that she'd be in level 5 in math but level 6 in language arts. Um, Another item that is useful for teachers is the resources in printables. It is for each subcategory. There are many printables provided, and they are varied by again the level that children are at. Right now my daughter is working with sight words, so I'm printing out a lot of these sight word printables. These are the words that she should be able to read, and so she's coloring the picture by sight words instead of numbers as usually is used in that activity. Another item that is cool for children to go through is, they can go into their classroom, which is where we just came from, or they can go on their learning path, which is the curriculum path, starting at the very beginning of the kindergarten curriculum. Now, please know that the curriculum utilized in abcmouse.com does support Common Core standards. So, what your child is, utilizing at home on this online tool is also what the children are using in the classroom that are following Common Core standards, as most states are now. Another tool that they can go into, which my daughter loves going into, is the library. The library has just an abundance of books, and we can change the settings to where they are reading to you when it's children, very small children. You can read them independently, and then you can even record the book yourself. So you can read the book and record yourself and then play it back to yourself. This website is just geared to be overly stimulating and very engaging, and keep kids wanting to come back. And as for my daughter, it works. So another thing that is just beyond helpful is that abcmouse.com is free. It's free to public schools, private schools, and Head Start programs. So there's really no reason why children can't be taking advantage of this great tool. Like I said, especially for children that are um, developing language and are English learners, this is a great site because it pays careful attention to language development. Those books that I just showed you, when they read to your children, they make emphasis on each phoneme, as possible. There will be the bug dug in the dirt. So, it's those small details that just make this online resource um, indispensable. At least it has for me, and it is in my daughter's classroom. I want to point one last thing out, and it's how these things light up every time that you hover over them, and each thing will lead you into a different lesson. Look at that. I hovered over the clock, and now I'm going to start a lesson on how to tell time. So that's abcmouse.com. I hope that you find it as engaging as I do and as big of a resource as I have found it to be.